Hey everyone, Lisa Steffen, mortgage professional at American Pacific Mortgage. I am so excited to kick off Market Monday today, and I have a great interview with my first guest, Aimee Malmberg of the Cascade team. So look for these each Monday. There are going to be various people within the industry, the real estate industry, as well as other small business owners. So I'm hoping that you will find these interesting and useful and maybe find out something new about a small business owner. So enjoy and take care. Here. And let's see. Hey everyone, Lisa Steffen, your mortgage professional at American Pacific Mortgage, and welcome to Market Monday. I'm so excited to have Aimee Malmberg of the Cascade team here with me today, and she's going to talk all real estate, and we're going to learn some things today. And so thank you, Aimee,
I'm
for
delighted to be here, Lisa.
being here. So can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and kind of what you like to do when you're not selling real estate?
Sure. I've been in the housing industry about 15 years, originally as a mortgage broker, which is why I appreciate you, Lisa, and everything that you do so well. The last 5 years, I've been actually a real estate broker with the Cascade team based out of our Woodinville office in beautiful Woodinville, Washington. And just absolutely love it. In my spare time, my husband and I, we have a small plane. We fly, we take cars to car shows, and I have a brand new baby granddaughter, so I've been crocheting and sewing like crazy. So
Oh, super cool. Nothing better than the
yeah,
little grandkids, right?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Well, hey, with everything going on, with the COVID-19 and the pandemic and the social distancing and that, um, what's the status of the housing market now with all of that going on?
It's interesting because the housing market has slowed a bit. Obviously, there are fewer homes that are coming on the market, correspondingly fewer homes going under contract. But we really are very blessed here in the greater Seattle area with a very strong, diverse economy base. We have so many different sectors here, some of which have been affected by the COVID-19 safety precautions and the shutdowns. Others are really blossoming because of this tech industry and things like that. So we're finding in the greater Seattle area, there are fewer homes coming on the market, but in many areas, Bellevue especially, we're seeing offer review dates again. We're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing properties escalating. I actually was just looking at Snohomish County just before you and I came on together here. And just in the last 24 hours, 21 homes have come on the market and 46 have gone under contract.
Wow.
So, and many of them after being on the market just for a couple of days. So it's still moving, but volume is down.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. So as far as the marketing resources, what's available for, let's talk about on the seller side, what kind of
Seller side.
resources are?
Yeah, initially, when the stay-at-home order came into effect, we were really kind of handcuffed in terms of what we could do. We were not allowed to do any staging. We were not allowed to do any photography. Basically, real estate agents really couldn't leave their house for any reason whatsoever. Fortunately, we really appealed to the governor, and we were able to get some additional um, leeway, I guess, the best way to say it, in terms of being able to really serve our clients in a safe way. So we are back to a position now where we can bring in stagers to stage a home if that's needed. Professional photographers are again permitted. We can do showings again, obviously. There for a while we couldn't do anything. So with the photography, I have some sellers personally who are cautious about having other people come in their home right now, which is very understandable. So we're really trying to take advantage of that photography piece. Virtual tours, video tours of the home, 3D Matterport video, virtual tours of a property, aerial shots of a property, giving buyers as much of a view of a property as possible without actually coming out to the home. But typically, it's such a big purchase. Most people, they want to be able to see the property and
Right.
walk through it and get that feel for the space before they make an offer. But sellers do have, we do have a variety of marketing strategies. I do want to say social media marketing is absolutely critical right now. You know, the days of just putting a property on the multiple listing service and hoping an agent's going to find it, that's not as powerful if you think of all the folks that are sitting home right now. Being on all the social media platforms, having those video pieces up there so that buyers are actually seeing the properties is really very meaningful right now.
That's great. And it's nice that with the virtual tours and technology of what it can do.
Yes.
But what about, are there any other safety precautions that for the seller if people do want to come in and see the home?
Yes, there really are. And in addition to what our standard protocols have always been of the shoe covers and those kinds of things, we really now are putting in place not only the shoe covers, but for many of my listings and other listings, providing gloves on site, providing hand sanitizer on site, providing sanitizing wipes on site at the home. Many sellers are, well, all listings now are required to be shown by appointment. So even if it's a vacant property, the listing agent needs to be contacted for an appointment to be set to tour the home. I'm seeing on a lot of listings these days that sellers, they want to see a buyer's pre-approval, financing approval before they're permitted to tour the home, because the nature of the stay-at-home order really is for everyone's health and well-being. People are supposed to stay at home unless it's necessary for them to be out. Fortunately, housing and the real estate industry has deemed to be essential. And for people to be able to navigate within the real estate industry, they have to be able to go and see homes and those kinds of things.
Right.
But sellers, a lot of them, they want to be sure that whoever's touring their home is truly qualified to buy a home. They're not just out looking around, because we don't have any open houses these days because of social distancing and gathering measures. So we don't want, most sellers don't want just casual window shoppers looking at homes. And I am seeing some listings and some brokerage actually have health forms now that are associated with the listing, that in order to get an appointment to tour the home, the broker, the showing broker, and the buyers need to fill out a health questionnaire. It's just kind of a checklist. Have you been feverish, been around anybody, those kinds of things. It's not an in-depth health assessment.
Right.
And also provide the financing approval and send that over to the seller to obtain an appointment to tour a property. So all of those things together can provide assurance to a seller that whoever is entering the home is doing it with sincere intentions, that they're seriously in the housing market and they're healthy, and there's means to sanitize doorknobs, light fixtures, anything that someone might touch.
Right, right. Well, it's good. So it sounds like there's precautions both for the seller side and, the buyers, as far as the video tours so they don't have to go in, or the sanitizers and the health questionnaires, things like that.
That's true. And, there's concern on both sides, because buyers can be, concerned about going into someone else's house as well.
Right.
So,
Right.
It's all across the board.
It is a strange time right now.
It is. It really is. But a lot of the measures that we're putting in place for buyers is, the days of everybody hop in my car, we'll drive around and look at homes together. That's really not what we're doing anymore. The buyers are driving in their vehicle, the broker is driving in their vehicle, and they're meeting at the property. Again, kind of a health check, how are you feeling? Is everybody okay? The gloves, the hand sanitizer, this is for both the buyer as well as the seller, because if a buyer is walking through a home and touching surfaces, if for some reason the seller may not be feeling well, we got to protect the buyer also. The other thing that I really should mention is that the protocols are in place that only 2 people can be in a property at a time. So for instance, if I'm showing homes to a couple, only one of that couple and myself can be in the home at one time. And we have to maintain the 6-foot social distancing at all times. So that takes an added level of patience. So we walk through with one member of the buying party, and then walk through with the other member of the buying party and compare notes at the end.
Right, right.
So
Oh,
um,
that's
it
crazy. I
is.
mean, that's good. I mean, and I'm people need houses. They need a place to live. So I'm glad to
Yes.
see that it got listed or
Yeah.
lifted, and people can still get out there and see things. Now, as far as the closing timelines, are you seeing a much difference on there? I know there's certain things for us as lenders that we're working through, but what about as far as on the real estate side?
Yes, we are running into, because like you and I, we all have to work as a team, right? So
Yes.
there's the real estate agents, there's the buyers, there's the sellers, there's inspectors, and buyers can do home inspections. They're in the very beginning for a few days. Home inspectors are permitted to go into properties. There are very strict protocols about appraisers. So there were just a lot of measures that made it really difficult that have since been relaxed. Buyers can do home inspections, but only two people can be in a property at one time. So by and large, the buyers are not attending the home inspections at this time. The broker and the inspector are the two people on site in the property attending the inspection, and then the results of that information are shared with the buyer after the fact. Um, so to answer your question, because of these things and just scheduling and that sort of thing, sometimes it takes a little while to get an inspector. Not all inspectors are comfortable in this environment. So some are not as available. Some have specific certifications for this sort of thing. The same can be said for appraisers. The ability to get appraisers out to a property. How long does that take? What's the turn time? And as a result of this, and what we're seeing is we're adding an additional addendum to most transactions called a force majeure clause, which basically that addresses any type of situation that could impact a transaction that is completely outside the control of the buyer or the seller. It specifically does say epidemics in there, but it also could be a situation where a tornado came through or an earthquake came through, or any type of act of God, if you will, that could come up during the course of a real estate transaction. And it builds in protections for both the buyer and the seller that they automatically agree up front to extend the transaction up to 10 days or any number that's mutually agreed upon if we do hit some speed bumps and roadblocks in the way to a typically smooth transaction.
Well, that's great to know. And I know you, from experience, you work take such good care of your clients and team player, and it's always great to work with you and know that the communication is there for everyone. So I want to thank you so much for coming on today. And if someone wanted to get a hold of you and had real estate questions or wanted to buy or sell, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Either by phone, by email. I'm kind of all over Facebook. I do a lot with Facebook, Instagram, lots of the social media platforms. So look for Aimee Malmberg Broker or Aimee Malmberg Real Estate Broker. And you should be able to find all my contact information pretty easily.
Perfect. And we will also be sure to post it at the end of this video. So thank you again. Stay safe.
Yes.
And wash hands and sanitize lots. And we will all get through this together, and we'll come out the other side stronger.
That's exactly right, Lisa. It was wonderful chatting with you today.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.